Well, the future of cloud engineering belongs to professionals who can automate infrastructure instead of building it manually. In this video, you will understand how Terraform simplifies cloud deployment, validation, and infrastructure management, and why it's becoming a must-have skill for every data engineer. So stay till the end to see how this knowledge can give you a real career advantage. If you are in IT and still stuck in the same salary, not getting enough interview calls, listen carefully. Right now, there are two types of people. Those who keep waiting and those who upgrade their skills and move into high-paying roles, earning 15 to 45 plus LPA because the market has already shifted. Cloud, data, AI, DevOps. These are the roles driving real career growth today. At Coding Superstars, we have helped thousands of professionals move into top tech roles.
I got placed in IBEX Labs. Previously, my package was 8 lakhs. Now it is around 14 lakhs. Thanks for the Coding Superstar for the guidance, and the course is very worth it.
I have accepted a position as a DevOps engineer at NTI Mindtree. The skills which were taught by Coding Superstar were directly applicable to the role, and I'm confident that they will be essential for my success.
Recognized by Silicon India as one of the top 10 cloud computing training firms in India. People who once had zero coding experience are now working in top companies like Microsoft, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, and more. This is not just another course. This is your path to becoming industry ready. So watch this till the end.
So we'll start with Terraform today.
Okay.
So what do you understand by Terraform?
I think as I can know, only this is used for the CI/CD pipelines.
Not exactly, but
Hmm.
mainly we use Terraform for infrastructure provisioning.
Okay.
Okay. So Terraform is a tool. Which tool? IAC tool. IAC means infrastructure as code. Means whatever you want to deploy your application into the infrastructure, you can deploy that infrastructure using some code. So you can see there is a practitioner. Practitioner means some user is there. And that user, what he's doing, he's writing down the infrastructure as code. Writing down the infrastructure as code. And then once you write down the infrastructure as code, what you will do? You will run a plan. Now plan will define whether what you are trying to deploy the infrastructure, whether it is correct or not, whether it is feasible or not, whether it is executable or not. Everything it will decide. At the stage of planning, if you will get an error, you can again go back and you can again change something in your code, and then again you can plan until your plan is validated. So in order to successfully execute a Terraform, in order to successfully execute a Terraform code, plan validation should be successful. Should be successful. If plan validation is not successful, then you cannot go ahead with Terraform deployment. Okay, so plan should be validated first, then only you can go with your execution. Then you can apply, and whatever environments you can see here, maybe it is a on-premise Kubernetes, or maybe it is AWS cloud, maybe it is Google cloud, maybe it is Azure cloud, maybe it is Vagrant, maybe it is VMware solution. Wherever you want to deploy, you can deploy using Terraform. The infrastructure. You can deploy the front end, you can deploy the back end, means your back end database servers and all. Okay, everything you can deploy using this. So infrastructure as a tool allows you to manage the infrastructure. Now, what is manage? So when we talk about manage here, so meaning of manage means creation and what? After creation, change, creation. Instead of change, I'll write updation and deletion. These three things, when I talk about manage, means creation, updation, and deletion. These things you can perform using what? Terraform. Can be performed using Terraform. Can be performed using Terraform. So tools allow you to manage infrastructure as a code. Tools allow you to manage infrastructure with the configuration files rather than through a graphical user interface. Means rather than going to the portal here, and deploying the infrastructure directly, you can do it with infrastructure as code. Infrastructure code allows you to build, change, manage your infrastructure in a safe, consistent, and repeatable way. You can version this code as well. You can version this code and use it accordingly. And repeatable way by defining the resource configurations that you can version, reuse, and share. Tomorrow there is a requirement to deploy 10 virtual machines. What you can do? You can deploy, or not only virtual machine with the database, storage account, everything. So what you can do, you can create a Terraform file, use that Terraform file to deploy that infrastructure. Tomorrow again the same requirement comes up, you can use the same infrastructure as a code file, Terraform file, to deploy the same infrastructure. You just have to apply that file and your infrastructure will get deployed. Even if you want to change something into that, you can manage changes in the Terraform file and you can deploy. So that is what. You can version it, you can reuse it, you can share it. So Terraform is a HashiCorp infrastructure as a code tool. So HashiCorp is the organization which provides Terraform. Okay. So HashiCorp infrastructure as a code tool, it lets you define resources and infrastructure in human readable format. Means whatever you are writing down as a file, Terraform file, it is in a human readable format. It is a declarative way. It is a declarative way of writing the code. Declarative configuration files. So there is a language called HashiCorp language. Okay, that is actually similar to JSON only, similar to JSON in a declarative way. Okay. So declarative syntax. Syntax is used to write Terraform files. Terraform can manage infrastructure on multiple cloud platforms. The human readable configuration language helps you to write infrastructure code quickly. Terraform's state allows you to track resource changes through deployments. You can commit your configurations to version control also to safely collaborate on infrastructure. To deploy infrastructure with Terraform, what things you need? To deploy infrastructure with Terraform, you will need first the scope. What is the scope? So identify your scope first. Identify your scope first. Identify the infrastructure for your project. So whatever the infrastructure is needed to deploy that application or software, identify that first. Second, author it down. Author means write down as a code. So write the configuration for your infrastructure. So how you will write? As a code, as a declarative syntax, right? So author it down. Third, initialize. What you need to initialize? So you need to install the plugins. So there are Terraform plugins. So Terraform needs to manage the infrastructure. So wherever you are running the Terraform, first you need to install the Terraform. And then you can. So for that purpose, you need to initialize. Initialize. And then you can plan. You can run a plan. So plan is what? Plan is a preview. Preview the changes Terraform will make to your configuration. So whatever the configuration is, that either it is existing configuration or it is a new configuration. What changes it can make to your infrastructure, it will show you the preview. And once the plan is validated, then you can apply the changes. This is what about Terraform. And the good thing about Terraform is that it can be used with any cloud platform. It can be used either on-premise, either with any cloud. Anywhere you can use Terraform. So this is Terraform. Now, in order to download Terraform, you can just search for Terraform. Terraform Azure. For example, we are learning Azure. So go to Azure Terraform. So you can see that there is Terraform for AWS, there is Terraform for Docker, Terraform for GCP. HCP Terraform is the cloud Terraform. Okay, it's a Terraform cloud. Okay, so HCP. HashiCorp. Okay. OCI means Oracle Cloud. Okay. So we are using Azure. So we will follow Terraform with Azure. So now comes the installation part. Okay, how you will install. So for installation, they have given. You have to follow the manual installation. You can follow this. For Mac OS, you can follow this. You might be having homebrew for Mac OS. If you want to install, you can follow this chocolatey for Windows. And for Linux, you can follow this to install Terraform. If you want to install Terraform in Windows, it is quite easy way to install Terraform. You can just download the Terraform file. Okay, so here it is. Let me tell you. Instead of, if you don't have this chocolatey to install, just there is a Terraform package, you can say. You can directly install. Sorry. Instead of following with the chocolatey, you can follow the manual installation. In the manual also, you can follow, if you have a Windows, mostly you will be having a Windows laptop only, you can follow this Windows. So when you are following Windows here, you need to download it. Okay, you need to download the package. So manual Windows So you can click here and you can download it as a, for Windows, you can download it as a zip package. So when you download this as a zip package, what will happen? It will download it here. For Mac OS, you can download this. And for Linux, you can download from here. So this is the package. This is the package here. So you can open this package, you can install it. After installation, you need to set the path. So where you will set the path for Terraform? Simple, you need to go to environment variables, environment, edit the environment variables. Go to environment variables in your Windows system. In the edit, sorry, this one. In the path, in the system variables, see, if you open this here, if you open CMD, if you have set your CMD to your name, like C users and my name, sometimes your CMD is set to C program files and system, right? So if it is like that, then you can set the variables in the system here. You can edit the system variables. If you have your own user profile in the CMD, you can edit the user variables as well. Okay, so both path you can edit. For example, here in the user variables, edit it. I have added both here also, there also. So what you need to mention whenever you are installing, for example, I installed the Terraform in the C drive, right? So go to that C drive. So where is the Terraform? This is the Terraform. I installed into this directory. Okay, this is the Terraform I installed here. So what I will mention this directory, C Terraform. Copy this path, mention it here and save it. So take this path, edit it, mention Terraform, save it in the next line. Similar way, go to this path in the system variables as well, edit it, mention Terraform. Once you do this, what will happen? The Terraform environment variable is being set. Now you can check here whether Terraform is installed or not after installation. So first do the installation, then set the path, and then you can check Terraform version. Okay. So what is the Terraform version here? 1.9.3. So Terraform is installed now in my system. Okay. Now I can use this Terraform after installation. So once the installation, if you have Linux system, you can download the package from here and follow these commands to install. Okay. And if you have Mac OS, where is Mac? This is Mac. So download this package and follow these commands. Okay, no issues. Simple. Windows, I told you how to do it since I have a Windows system. So you can follow it there. Now, once you install this Terraform, once the Terraform is installed, you need to what? Build. You can build the infrastructure. Okay, you can build the infrastructure. So if you are using Windows system with PowerShell, so you have to use one command, invoke web request. This is just an API. So you'll be invoking this, okay? To use Azure CLI. Authenticate using CLI. You will do the AZ login into the CLI. So let me open PowerShell. Here also it should show Terraform version. Oh, sorry. Terraform. So here it is also showing the Terraform version. Now what I'll do, open the PowerShell prompt and run as administrator. So this will not help. I need to run this as administrator. Closing it. PowerShell or run as admin. Yes. Here also it should show. So if you do not set the system variables, it will not show here. Okay. Now generally in your office systems, you will not be able to run as administrator mostly. You need to run with your user only. So since I have set path in the system variables and the user variables as well, so I'm seeing both in the system variable as well and in my user as a normal user as well. Okay. So now let me run that command. Invoke web request. It is installing Azure CLI, okay, in my Windows system. Now let me perform this AZ login. We can do this. Okay. Install Azure CLI Windows. Okay, let me check it. Where it is downloaded. User. Azure. AC module. Okay, these are AC modules. Where is that? Azure Cloud Shell Developer command. Just trying to log into the CLI, run that command. Follow this code, provide the code. Okay, once you log in, choose your tenant. Requesting for a cloud shell. Okay. No, this is not connecting. This is connecting the Cloud Shell Azure CLI. I need to connect my local CLI. The local CLI will be connected here itself. CLI. You can run Azure CLI with the easy command from either Windows command prompt or PowerShell. PowerShell is not giving me any input. Run is connected means already installed. So no need of the Cloud Shell. Okay. I'm connected here without command prompt. But instead of command prompt, I'll be connecting it through PowerShell only. So I'll open local PowerShell now. PowerShell. And now here I'll connect to easy. Yes. After connecting to Azure CLI, now I can run to this command, easy login. It is asking for me for my account. So provide that account. The code will be, this is the code. Okay, you have to use AZ login -tenant ID. So instead, I'll go to my subscription. And I'll copy this parent management group ID. That is my tenant ID. And I'll perform this command AZ login -tenant. And I'll provide my tenant ID. This one. Now it retrieved my subscription as well. Okay. Select a subscription and tenant. So number one you can choose. So now I am logged into my subscription. Now I can run the commands here. If you have multiple subscriptions, you can set your subscription like this. If you have multiple subscriptions, you can set your subscription. You can follow like this. You can copy your subscription ID to whatever subscription you want to set, and you can run. like this. So I've set my subscription now. Installation is done. Now you need to create a service principal so that Terraform can connect your Azure account. You know that we need a service principal or we need an app registration to create, like we did in portal, a DevOps portal. We created a service account. So how we created a service account? Before creating a service account, we created a service principal. So you also need a service principal here. So let me copy this and let me set that as well. I'll set the subscription ID. Again, I'll copy it from here. Found multiple accounts. Only one single account is there. Oops. Subscription ID. Okay, let me log in with that account. PowerShell. Easy. Log in with this account. Now running this command. So you need to log in with the enter ID credential. Whatever the enter ID user you need to log in, then only it will create. Take this information, copy, keep it with you. It has created a service principal. Once you create that service principal with you, then you need to set the environment variables. Like you set it here in the environment variables, like you set it for the Terraform installation. Similar way you have to set the environment variables here as well. So copy this, copy this. And paste it here. Client ID means your app ID. Copy it. Copy this value. Client secret means your password. Copy as it is. Don't leave dot and all. Okay. Copy whatever it is. Subscription ID. So copy subscription ID from here. And copy the tenant ID as well. So tenant ID is given here. Just need to copy all these things. Or either you can run one by one as well. No issues. Copy it. Go to your PowerShell. So now your environment variables are set. So once your environment variables are set, you are good to go. You are connected with Terraform now. Now, for example, I need to create anything. Now what I'll do, I'll create a directory here. Okay. So if you do an ls here, you can see the directories, what directories you have. Okay. In your home directory. Okay. So I'll copy this command. Inside the C, I'll create a folder called Learn Terraform Azure. So it will create a new directory in my C drive. Okay. Now, if you go to the C drive, in the C drive, there's a folder created, Learn Terraform Azure. Okay. So now, whatever is, I will be deploying, I will be keeping all files in my this directory only. Okay, Learn Terraform, that TF file. TF file means Terraform file and all those things. So now, for example, I need to create any resource in Azure now. Infrastructure provisioning. How I can do with the code? So now, say for example, this is the Terraform code now. Okay. So there is a main.tf file. Main.tf. Okay. This is for resource provisioning in Azure. In Azure, we are doing. Okay. I'll go down. Okay. Now you can see what is this? Configure the Azure provider Terraform. What we are so required providers. What is the provider in Terraform for Azure? So remember, Azure RM is the provider, resource provider. Okay, Azure provider Terraform. So who manages this providers? Azure provider, AWS, GCP, whatever you are using. So this is provided by Azure. And what is the current version of this Azure RM? So the current version of this Azure RM is 3.0.2. Okay. Required minimum version is 1.1.0. Now it is calling the provider. Which provider? Azure RM. Now inside whatever the features will be there in the Azure RM, it will use to create whatever we want. Now what we want to create a resource here. What resource we want to create? So you will mention the provider Azure RM, and what do you want to create? Resource group. So Azure RM underscore resource underscore group. And what category it falls in? It falls in RG. RG means resource group. What is the name? You can give the name. For example, my TF resource group. Where you want to create, you can give the location. And then you can create it. So this is your TF file here. This will create a resource group. So now what you can do? You can simply go here and you can vi you need to go to the directory here. So it says in this directory, create a folder called Learn Terraform Azure, create a new file called main.tf and paste in the configuration window below. Okay. So go to the file. So I will go to cd and inside C I'm going to where? Learn Terraform Azure. So I'm inside Learn Terraform Azure now, and I'll do vi main.tf. Sorry. I need to create a file. VI is the editor which works. VI is not recognized as the name of the command network. Filing. Wow. Well, I know mostly CI commands only. CLI. Okay, echo. VI is not working. Okay, new item will work for the file as well. Okay, no issues. New item. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just.
Mhm.
No issues. Okay, let's mention as new item only then. New hyphen item and path hyphen path. So C, inside C, learn Terraform Azure. Inside that I need to create main.tf. Okay, main.tf is created now. Okay. Vi main.tf. The file editor in PowerShell. Nano editor. That is why Mac is good, because in Mac you don't have to find all these things. It's already there, everything. Nano. Okay, let's try with the Nano. Nano
Okay.
main.tf. No, Nano is also not there. Hey, VI should work. Why it is not working, I don't know. VIM. VIM.
Yeah, it should work. Yeah.
Yeah, it is not working now because that's why. Earlier I tried with VI only.
Mm-hmm.
Main.tf. It is not working. Main.tf is present. So install.
It might be some different command it is taking. We already tried Dream also, right?
Yes.
Edit also not working.
Nano. be there in the bad. Oh, wow. Let me paste here.
That's quite strange, right?
Great.
Yeah.
Now maybe it should run. Okay, so now we need to initialize the Terraform block. Once you create the file, you set the environment variables, everything you did. Now you set the Terraform block here. Actually, initialize the repository, Terraform repository here, like we did in Git. So Git init. So here we will do Terraform init. Okay. So you can run that Terraform init here. Initialize the Terraform init. So it will initialize the Terraform repository
Okay.
into that folder. Learn Terraform Azure. So Terraform repository has been successfully initialized. Once you initialize the Terraform repository, you can run that, you can plan and you can run. So first we will format and validate the configuration, whatever we created. So Terraform, see, for the first time, if you don't run Terraform format, that is okay. But if you have last run many other plans, you can format that because eventually it will consume the space. So you can run Terraform format for that. And then you can run Terraform validate. Okay. And then you can run Terraform apply. So Terraform FMP. And then I can run Terraform validate. The validate. Success. The configuration is valid. And then you can apply. So see, if your file name is main.tf, by default, if you run only Terraform apply, that is okay. But if your file name is something else, then you need to mention -f here. Then you need to mention -f. So if only main.tf, no need to mention anything, direct run Terraform apply after validation is successful. Terraform apply. What it is saying, Terraform used to select the providers, it will create the resources. There is a plus sign. So for creation of resources, there is a plus sign. For deletion of resources, there will be a minus sign. Okay. So Terraform will perform the following action. What it will perform? It will create a resource group named myTF resource group in the location West US 2. And ID, why it is not giving ID? Because it is not still created the resource. So it cannot give the resource ID. Okay. So, but once it is created, then if you check the state file, it will give you the resource ID. So you can give a value as yes. Once you give the value as yes, Azure resource group RG creating. It is creating the resource. Apply complete. Resources 1 added, 0 changed, 0 destroyed. Means we have not removed anything, nor we have changed the configuration of any resource. We only added one resource. So that is why 1 added, 0 changed and 0 destroyed. Now if you go and validate that, go to home, go to resource group. See, my TF resource group is created. Empty resource group. Location is what? West US 2. Okay, this is how you can. Now we have only installed as of now what? Resource group. You can create the resources as well. Inspect your state file. Now if you want to check what did you do, now ID will appear. Earlier ID was not appearing over here. So now if you run Terraform show, it will show you the state file. What is the state? What is the condition of your resource? Terraform show. So now it will provide you the ID, resource ID as well. So see, this is the resource ID now. Earlier it was not there since it was not created. So what does this do? This maintains the state file of the Terraform. And what does the state file have? Terraform.tf state is a file name. What does that have? That have the current whatever the resources are provisioned, current state of your account, okay, or project. Or whatever the resources will be provisioned, it will show in the Terraform state file. Now if you go back, you can see there's a Terraform repository initialized .terraform, and there is a main.tf file, and there's a terraform.tf state file, and there's a HCL file as well. So we did not work with the remote repository as of now, so no need of the HCL file, only Terraform state and main.tf. Those are two files. Okay. So this is how you can create a resource. Okay. Now from the next class, we'll start creating resources and also other things as well. Okay. We have set the Terraform. Please try it with your side as well. Like check the recording and try creating the Terraform. Okay. At least install it. Okay.
So after that, how many classes will you?
Come again.
The lecture, how many classes we need for Terraform?
Just 2-3 more classes. That's it. Nothing else. Okay.
Mhm.
Not that much of a big topic.
Mhm. Okay,
Just you
so
need to-
after that, this has been completed, and that advanced DevOps. So I think
This is only
you
advanced
will not.
Kubernetes and
Sorry, not. Actually, there is some one more course like cloud architect something.
architect.
So,
Architect I'll not teach. Okay.
you will teach us or someone other?
No, I don't teach architect. Okay.
Okay. Okay, fine. So I think after this this conclusion, we can start preparing for the interview and all these
Yes,
things, right?
definitely.
Sure.
100%.
Okay. Thank you.
Using just see these Terraform and Kubernetes classes, okay, because you will apply for Kubernetes and Terraform wherever it is asked. It is very mandatory to answer all these questions in it.
Actually, nowadays people asking more about like Kubernetes and
Yes. So whatever I told in the objects, Kubernetes objects, all those things you need to learn. Okay.